So I am here with Stacked Up TV at Dave Cullen's actual apartment. He wrote this amazing book called Columbine, which is all about the Columbine shootings in Colorado. My book is called The Skeptic's Guide to Writers' Houses. We have 73 of them in the United States. So why do people go to these places? I really want to help Dave try to prepare for his eventual death and posthumous canonization as a great American writer, and hopefully have his apartment become a museum. So I'm really, really excited. Yeah, so I'm not really seeing much. You know, the bran flakes are interesting. It reminds me of Jack London. He had his manservant bring him dried fish every morning in bed for breakfast. You know, Edith Wharton, she wrote in bed every morning, and she would write these manuscript pages, and she just dropped them on her floor for her maid to collect. So that's another good morning story.
I just want a manservant to be bringing me anything in the morning. I
know,
like
it's
that
great.
idea.
The magazines are interesting. I like how they're displayed, you know? It kind of reminds me of a dentist's office waiting room. You might want to have some, you know, maybe things on the wall over here. Maybe a portrait of you.
Look at this one. Wait, flip that one open.
Oh my gosh! This is a treasure trove. That is so cool.
My platoon, yeah.
Cullen, you clown. You know, really, I could just stand here all day reading these.
My next book is probably going to be on gays in the military. That's my favorite book ever, Nabokov's Conclusive Evidence. He renamed it, but I don't accept that name. And I like Patti Smith as my hero. And I did buy Franzen because I was really interested, and I started reading. I'm in the middle of a zillion things. God, you know what I really wish were here with my record collection.
If you could set up an actual record player with the records playing, people would find that really cool, because we like to see old history stuff in these museums. Always have some Patti Smith going, and you know, rock the Casbah. And the theme song for my book is Graceland, so you can sort of get to work it all in. Yeah. The mecca of any writer's house museum is the study. And this is Dave Cullen's study. It also will be interesting in the future for people to see his writing instruments. So the Dell computer, the HP laptop. There's a lot of typewriters in writers' house museums, but there aren't so many computers. I mean, even Norman Mailer, you know, who died 2 years ago, never used a computer, so you have his typewriter there. But here we get a computer, and that's very important. A rejection letter from David Remnick, you know, that's the kind of story of legend. His iPhone. His happy light. You know, this is something that people are going to be interested in the 21st century, when either there's no light at all, or we figured out how to make everyone happy without having to buy happy lights. You know, down here, I see something that actually I was quite honestly hoping to see. And this kind of freaks me out.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So what we see down here is a virtual book, Existences by Dylan. And this is a book that Dylan Klebold, this is his
journal.
His journal. So I gotta say, this is kind of moving. Like, you know, and it's disturbing.
And then down here, Eric's is sort of out of order. That's some of his drawings in the back. But this file I kept. Oops.
This is powerful paper, you know?
This is Eric. That's his pipe bomb production chart. And the cops have blacked out certain things. But each one of these is a different batch. And he dates when he made it and how many he made on that date. And he rated almost all his work excellent. This is the tank that goes on his back that says napalm. He couldn't get the napalm to work. He said did several batches of napalm and couldn't get it to work. He wanted to have these flamethrowers on his back, and he described on the tapes what he wanted to do was have flames flying out and kids running around burning like burning matchsticks.
The last thing I'll notice is that this is Shredder. You should get rid of that. You need to keep everything. Keep everything. You know, it's amazing to be in this sublet where an actual writer lives. And I think that Dave's got some real potential for bringing some tourists in here. He might need to raise a couple $1 million. I think the office is perfect. He shouldn't change a thing. And actually, quite honestly, although it's easy to be skeptical and make fun of these places, you know, looking at these documents and hearing Dave talk about them and how important they were to him and how much work he's put on them is pretty inspiring. I think young wannabe investigative journalists from all over the country should come here and check it out.